Hello and welcome back. It's been a bit of a break since I last spoke to you, but the house was auctioned on Saturday and sold, so it's really getting serious now. But the whole process of downsizing, and it's not decluttering because I'm sort of out of anything that most people would label as clutter, but how about clarifying? Because I'll be moving into a much smaller space. This is 5 bedrooms. I mean, really, I'm one person. I don't need 5 bedrooms. So if you're interested in the whole process of downsizing, whatever demographic you fit in, maybe you're moving for work, maybe you're moving and downsizing because you want to take up a smaller little footprint on the planet. Maybe you're going into a smaller apartment after years in a big family home. Whatever the reason that you're there, and whatever your age and whatever your process, welcome and subscribe if you're interested in this process, because there are a few other videos that you might find helpful. So today I have 5 critical steps to planning your downsize. Step number 1, what's your motivation in doing this big downsize? You have to get really clear on this because it's the core for the whole process. Maybe you are joining the tiny house movement. Maybe you want to become a minimalist and really get rid of some of this stuff. It can be about wanting to take some of the equity out of your big old family home. Maybe you do have mobility issues or some health issues, and that can be older or younger people. Maybe you want the cafes and fun of the city, or maybe you just see a fabulous apartment in an area you've always loved and you snap it up, even if it is much smaller than you've been used to living in. I have a friend who's doing that right now. So your motivation is really what it's all about. Step number 2, this is when you prep. And prepping is the clarifying, the refining of the things you own. There's no doubt about that. What I'm going to do is to try to bring everything that I want to keep and move with me into a space that's going to be fairly similar to the area I will move into. When I figure out that, I'll let you know. And I'm just going to go through everything again and again, and not looking for things that bring me joy. Sorry, this is not KonMari. This is about what I use, and I have to rank the things I love in terms of how much do I really love that one compared with how much do I really love this one. Maybe I'm going to have a shockingly great big garage sale. So if you're local, look out for that. I'll let you know. Then it's about doing the research on the area that you're thinking of moving to. Will it actually meet your interests? Will it have the right sort of vibe that you're looking for? And do your homework first, because it's an expensive process and you want to get it right the first time. Having said that, I think for a lot of people it's probably a sensible thing to do, and this is what I'm thinking I will do, is to rent before you buy in an area. You'll really get to know it, and you'll get to know if it works for you or if you should try something else. One of the things about moving into the inner city or even into a townhouse is, of course, your storage will be really limited. So if you've been used to a big family home, you have to think about every cupboard and really how many will you have. The other thing is, I've been used to a lot of built-in storage, so I don't have a lot of freestanding pieces that I can use for storage. Will your sofa actually fit through the door into a new area? These are the sorts of things that you just have to process along the way. Step number 3 in planning your downsize is actually selling the home that you're in. I will do a separate video on this later, but just for now it's about clearing out your house. It's about making the cupboards looking presentable, because people open cupboards and drawers. It's about keeping it super clean for a couple of months, because you've got to do the photos, and these days you've got to do videos, you've got to do the outside so it's beautiful in photographs, and now they have drones, and the drone shot has to be gorgeous. It's a lot of work to A, get it ready for the photographs and for sale, and then B, you've got to keep it looking beautiful for at least a full month. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but when you've got people coming through your house, and literally by the 100, as I had, they bring in dirt. You've got to be cleaning all the time. You've got to be fixing things up. People bounce on the beds, for God's sake. You're constantly having to work to keep the place looking clean and smart and very much decluttered. And that's all week long, because while you might have 1 or 2 open houses per week, you will also have private appointments when people want to come and see it at times that are not listed as open. Step 4, this is the reduction phase. This is about getting rid of the stuff that you've used and loved over the years, but you simply don't use on a daily basis and you will not have space for in your new home. It's a good thing in many ways. It's the first step, I suppose, to minimalism. And while I don't intend to go down that path, I would happily have a house where I don't need to look after as many things. But we all have black spots. Mine are my books, and I have got rid of hundreds, and I will get rid of more. There are ones I will keep. I also have another black spot. It's called Christmas decorations. And yes, I will have to take a deep breath. And even though over the last couple of years I have gone through these many times and discarded and gifted things, it will happen again, I know. Step 5. This is the one about finding your new home, and I think the word to use here is probably flexibility. Now, for some of you, it will be easier because you'll be moving, a few streets away. Maybe you're moving across a suburb. The other end, it's the I've dreamed of going minimalist or tiny house, and now I've done it and I hate it. Or I've dreamed of living in the city / in the country, which is the opposite of where I've lived for the last, however many years, and I really don't like it. So I would say plan to be flexible. Maybe, as I said, look at renting for a 12-month period so that you can get a really good feel of the area and get to know it, and then make your final sort of commitment. And there are 5 critical steps that you need to consider when you're planning your downsizing. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up and share it with somebody that you know who is also going through this process. I'll be back next week with a video on what I've learned in this process of downsizing. And I'll see you then. Have a wonderful week. Bye.